I was given the constellation of Canis Major to do my presentation on. So Canis Major actually translates to the greater dog. And Canis Major received this name as kind of a counterpart to the smaller dog constellation Canis Minor, which is the lesser dog. Both of these dogs are commonly depicted as hunting dogs assisting the hunter Orion. Now that's the common mythology associated with it. However, there are alternative histories, depending on what culture you're in, that depict the two dogs as possibly arrows behind the hunter Orion. So the constellation itself is highly luminous. It's prominent and easy to find because the constellation contains so many highly luminous stars. These stars include Sirius, which is actually the brightest star in our night sky because of its proximity to our solar system, as well as Alhara and Mirzam. Interesting fact, each of these stars were actually thought to be the brightest stars in the night sky at some point throughout history. So what Sirius is to us now, those stars were believed to have been the brightest previously. And each of these stars are obviously renowned for their brilliant light. To locate Canis Major, obviously the easiest way to do it is to find Sirius. And you can see on this PowerPoint right here, it's marked as a very bright star, because it is a bright star. Canis Major is visible in the northern hemisphere during the winter and the southern hemisphere during the summer. Canis Major is bordered by Monosaurus to the north, Puppis to the east, Columba to the southwest, and Lepus to the west. So if you can find any of those constellations and you can find Sirius, you can zero in on Canis Major. There are several deep sky objects within Canis Major, one of which is the band of the Milky Way actually passes through this constellation. And it has very little obscurement by interstellar dust clouds, so it's actually pretty easy to see if you're looking through this constellation. Canis Major also contains several open clusters, which are a group of a few thousand stars formed from the same materials, roughly the same age. It has quite a few of those, as you can see. They're all marked throughout this picture. Canis Major contains one Messier object, which is an object containing 100 plus astronomical objects, which is M41. And Messier 41 is a combination of about 100 stars, including mostly red giants, and it is believed to have been possibly discovered as early as by Aristotle in 325 BC, but it was definitely confirmed to exist by Giovanni Battista in 1654. Some other deep sky objects within the constellation are NG 2360, which is also known as Caroline's cluster because it was discovered by Caroline Herschel. It's one of the several open clusters in Canis Major, which was discovered in 1783. Another open or deep sky object is NGC 2362, which is again an open cluster, which was once again discovered by Giovanni Battista. So Canis Major is very prominent throughout cultures because it's very luminous and it's celebrated and it's very old. It has a lot of story to it. So it's very popular and it spans a lot of different cultures. So in Mesopotamia, Sirius was depicted as an arrow, where the back stars of Canis Major were depicted as the bow. So they were kind of the alternative culture that had an alternative history to it. However, in most other cultures, including ancient Greece, Canis Major was celebrated as a famed dog, which was renowned for its speed, faithfully assisting Orion in hunting and fighting. And then in ancient Rome, Canis Major was depicted as a watchdog. So the history of Canis Major. Canis Major is often depicted as a Saluki because it is an Egyptian dog prized for its speed. So a lot of times you hear about Canis Major being immortalized in the sky by Zeus because he was the fastest dog and he was Orion's best dog. And so they picked a very speedy dog in real life to be depicted by it. And then Sirius is actually a binary star whose companion star is Sirius B, which is just how it happens to be a white dwarf. And then Canis Major also houses many variable stars, including some of the largest known stars to man. We're excited.